So, hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gladys. If it's your first time here, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed and you just stumbled to this video, please do me a favor, click the subscribe button, put on your notification bell so that anytime I upload any video, you will be the first person to see it. All right. So for people that don't know me, my name is Gladys. I have 3 children, one special needs which I care for 24/7. So that's my job now. And I tell you, it's a full-time job. Yeah, but I thank God for her life. I thank God for how she's growing and she's going. So since I started this YouTube channel, people have been throwing questions, sending me DM in my Instagram and sending me questions. And I've been writing down every single thing. You can see it there. There. Yeah, I've been writing down everything, and I said I'm going to treat it as different topics because people are asking me a few questions, and I just thought I should come here today and just start with a brief history of how everything started about almost 13 years ago. Okay, so my child of 33 weeks, 33 weeks, I don't know what month is that anyway. We count weeks here, so 33 weeks. And before she was born, for myself, I've had bits and pieces of issues, medical issues here and there. And she came early, and we thought it was just any normal child coming early, and she's just going to bounce back and she'll be fine. And that was how that journey started in 2009. So what happened was, when after I gave birth to her in the morning, that day in the morning, and I was told she was going to be taken to the ICU in the incubator because she was preterm, so she needs some time in the incubator for her to, get strength, and hopefully, they were saying hopefully she wouldn't need oxygen for too long. Most of the children born early like that, they tend to need oxygen because of their lungs are not quite, grown yet and developed yet. That's the word, yeah. So, yeah. So that fateful day, she was taken to the ICU. I remembered I didn't see her until I think the next day because I was quite very sick myself. So I was taken upstairs the next day on her wheelchair to go see her, and I'm gonna put the picture up there for you to see the day 2 picture that I took when I went in there to see her. And the first thing that came to me was like, oh my God, I teared up, I cried, and it's 2 things. Tears of joy because I've always wished for a girl from God, and God blessed me with a very beautiful girl. And at the same time, looking at her so tiny and so just because she came, the way she came when she was born, her legs, her 2 legs were up, and I was thinking, oh, is she going to be like that for the rest of her life? And I was so worried about every single thing. You can imagine you just walk into an ICU and see wires and everything taped all over your child, and the way she was breathing, oh my God. Anyway, so yeah, I saw her and I was so emotional that day, and the doctor came to talk to me about her, that oh, she's actually doing not too bad. They've started feeding her and all that, and if I can do breast expression and breast milk expression, which I'm going to do a topic about that because somebody asked me how did I do expressing of breast milk for good 9 months non-stop. So I'm going to do a topic on that, and just to put it out there for people that wants to know how I did it. So anyway, yeah, so I started expressing immediately, and it took some time for for me to lactate. But when I started, the milk kept coming. I was so happy. I just kept doing everything to make sure I have milk for her every single time. Like every 3 hours, I was expressing non-stop. So anyway, so we thought that was it, and she was going to be okay, and everything was going to go as planned, as usual, no problem, no drama. So after a week, they called me up there, and they told, I go up there to see her like every day until I was discharged. I think I spent 5 days there myself before I was discharged. And so after that, I always go in the morning, stay there with her, express breast milk while I'm there, and I go home in the evenings, But when I got there one of the evenings, the doctor called me and told me every feed they were giving her, that everything was coming back up. So they want to do more examination. They don't know why the feed is not staying and everything is just coming up. And she's breathing so fast now, they had to put her on oxygen. She wasn't on oxygen earlier, so she was on oxygen at that time, and they didn't know if, what was happening anyway. So they said they were going to do chest x-ray, do some other x-rays, strip for some tests, just to be sure what they are dealing with. So that was how the journey started. Like play, like somebody would say. I didn't know it was going to be the journey that is going to be very long. I thought it was just going to be normal and I would be able to take my child home. No, it wasn't like that. So yeah, we now what we now did was we did a test, and they realized she had aspirated from the feed they were giving her. They call it silent aspiration. So they saw that she had pneumonia. At that time, I think the milk and thing that they were giving her, she took some into her lungs, and that gave her pneumonia, and she was so sick, like, oh my God. She went really, really from like 80% to like 20%, like down. That was when I said, oh my God, what is going on? I thought maybe everything was going to end, but no. So, to cut the long story short, I don't want to drag this, because it's been a very, very emotional journey for me, but at the same time, I thank God for where we are today. So that was how the journey started. So from test to test to test to test. We went to Crumlin for her heart to be checked. Her heart was opened. They were so worried about it. They said there's a very big hole on the heart, and they had to keep an eye on that. They see if it will close by itself as she grows. They were not going to do anything at that time because she was still very young. Then they did MRI scan on her brain. They said, oh, there's hemorrhage on the right, I think on the left, on the right, I can't remember now, of her brain, and that might, cause a bit of things when she's growing up. They said a lot of things. Then they said, oh, her lungs have collapsed from the aspiration, from the pneumonia and all this. Oh my God. Anyway, put yourself in my position. Like, I had nobody with me. I had no family with me at that time. Nobody, no friends, nobody at all. I was just there by myself, and they were telling me all this. And I just said to them, this is too much for me. I can't even digest it. So if you can just break it down for me and tell me what's going on. Is she going to survive? Like, tell me what's going on with my daughter. At that time, my mind is just, flesh kicked in anyway. And I was just like, God, you gave me this child. What's going on? There's just too much for me to handle at this time. So anyway, they said after 2 weeks that she spent, or 3 weeks that she spent in ICU in the maternity hospital. So the doctor there, the consultant there, the head of the neonatal, what's it called? The neonatal ward there. I won't mention her name. She was a very good doctor. She now said to me, look, I will have to transfer you to where the specialists are, and where they can really, really look after her, where they can do all the tests. So we were moved to the Children's Hospital then. So yeah, that was another step of our journey. We moved to the children's hospital, and as I said, there's a lot of scans, a lot of tests, a lot of, like, she was so sick that, like, she can't be left alone. Like, anytime any ward that they put her near the nursing station, so that in case anything happens, like, this is a child that will just stop breathing, and you see people running all elter skelter, trying to do something to help her, you know. Well, yeah, it's been a long journey. So yeah, so that was how that happened. So I'm gonna be stopping here now, because I don't want you to hear all the story in one video. So I'm going to come back and tell you the phase of when we were moved to the children's hospital, and what happened from there, and how long we stayed there. So like I said, it's going to be in beats. I don't want this video to be too long, so that you don't get too bored. So this is just going to be the part 1 of this, and I'm just answering the question of the person that asked me that, how did my child get the tubes? How did she become like this? What happened to her? So I've started the story. I'm going to narrate everything, how it happened. So I've said it, how she was born, how long she spent in the ICU before she was transferred to the children's hospital, before she did all these tests, before she didn't even get any diagnosis, I tell you, till now. So she just had a bit of everything, like a little bit of this and that and that. They were mentioning all the things. I'm still going to come back and talk about it in bits and pieces, like I said. So I'm going to stop here now. I'm going to stop here because I'm getting a bit emotional. I'm going to stop here, and I will come back and do the part 2 of this, and tell you what happened when we got to the children's hospital, and how a lot of things were coming out as well again when we were doing all the tests, and and the scary part of it, I'm going to tell you. And yeah, it's good that I can sit down and say my story to encourage somebody. If you are out there and you have a child like mine, or even if it's not like mine, or you have a child that have challenges or something, a lot of challenges, a lot of medical thing going on, don't think that is the end. The doctor can write things on the paper, but tell you something, these children, they have their own minds. Like, God knows why he brought them to this world. So when the doctor says to you, this, all I will say to you is, hold on to the word of God. I don't know if you're a Muslim, a Christian, whatever you believe in, just believe that these children are miracles, and God brought them to this world for a purpose, and that purpose they shall complete and they shall conclude. So don't even don't be what's that word now? I'm looking for that word, sorry. Because the way I'm saying mine, I'm sharing mine now, because I've been there and I knew the way it was then for me. And I went into like a big depression myself then, because I wasn't enlightened. I didn't know. Nobody told me. And I was just, so sad. I was just in my own world. I wasn't talking to anybody. I wasn't sharing anything, even in my church, even in my local church. Nobody knew about it until the girl was like almost 9 months old. I never shared everything. I would just come into the church quietly and go out quietly. Dance, sing. Immediately I leave the church, I'm going back to the hospital. I did not talk to anybody about it. But that was what I did wrong. I know I did it wrong. And I'm just saying to somebody there now, if you're in the same position, don't hesitate to share. The more you talk about it, the more you feel good. Don't hide your children. Like, they are special from God. You understand? They are special beings from God. So if I can come here today and sit down and share my story, I know where I was coming, like where I'm coming from. Where we've come a very long way. Like, okay, I'll stop here because there's a lot of things that I'm still going to say to you, and you will say, "Oh wow," and I don't mind sharing it, because I want somebody to learn from it. That's why I'm sharing this. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here. I say this again, that's the last time. So thank you so much for listening to me, for me allowing me to bore you a little bit. If you are new to this channel, like I said, don't forget to like, thumbs up, subscribe, comment below. Please, please, please comment below. Your comment, your views, your share, and your like really goes a long way. And don't forget to get me to 1,000 subscribers. You can do it for your girl, and I know that. Thank you so much for watching, and until I see you the next time, this is Gladys signing off.